Hey there, everybody. Hey, Bill O'Leary coming to you live. Um, and what I want to talk about today, it's an interesting topic. Um, Somebody mentioned it not too long ago, and that is avoiding conflicts when designating multiple beneficiaries on accounts. Okay, avoiding those conflicts that can arise. So, again, quick introduction. My name is Bill O'Leary. I'm an estate planning attorney with Legacy Planning Law Group in Jacksonville, Florida. This is this week's installment of our weekly series that we call our Thirsty Thursday series. So if you're thirsting for knowledge and helpful information, I'd like to think you've come to the right place. So jump in. And what I want to do is first tell you a story. It's a story about Karen and Angela, sisters, and they each had two children. And their mom, you see, had an IRA account, and she designated both of her daughters, Angela and Karen, as beneficiaries of the IRA. Equal beneficiaries, 50-50. Well, what happened was Angela, the daughter Angela, died before mom, and mom didn't get around to changing her beneficiary designation. And so when mom died, all of her IRA went to Karen, the surviving child. None of it went to um, Angela, the deceased child. Angela didn't go to her children. And I think this story is a good kind of illustration of a misunderstood area of IRA beneficiary management that really can create substantial inheritance problems. Fortunately, there's a simple and really effective way to fix this, to solve that inheritance issue. But the problem is a lot of people overlook it. And the solution is by using some verbiage, either per stirpes payout or per capita payout. Per stirpes, P-E-R, and then S-T-I-R-P-E-S. Not per stripes, per stirpes, or per capita, including that verbiage on the IRA beneficiary form. Per stirpes, it's a Latin phrase. It means by the branch or by the root. Per capita is also Latin for by the head. And they have very different meanings and very different consequences. So before drilling down on the difference between the two, let me first say that beneficiary designations are used not only for IRAs, but for lots of other types of financial assets like 401ks and 403bs and profit sharing plans, pension plans, annuities, life insurance policies. So what I'm going to say in this video applies to all of these, not just to IRA accounts. Proper beneficiary designations, they are separate from the instructions that you may have in your will or your living trust. And in fact, they take precedence over what the will or the trust might say. The financial asset that has a beneficiary designation attached to it passes by direct transfer to the named beneficiaries after the death of the account owner, bypassing the time and the expense of the probate court. The beneficiaries, all they do is they send in a death certificate to the financial institution, the custodian of the account, and the funds in the account will be distributed out. So back to these Latin terms, per stirpes and per capita. Using a per stirpes approach distributes a deceased beneficiary's share of the account sort of downstream to any children that they may have in equal parts to the next generation. While per capita, very different effect, distributes the account among those beneficiaries who are still living in sort of the same generational line. Selecting per stirpes and per capita can have serious ramifications, including maybe unwanted distributions after death if they're not properly addressed at the front end. Some beneficiary designation forms have boxes to check in choosing per stirpes or per capita, but other their forms, they don't provide for this opportunity. They don't let you make this selection. And years ago, by the way, it was quite common for beneficiary forms to just ignore this issue, and the forms had no space or no box to check in order to provide these specific instructions. IRA owners were forced to write per stirpes or per capita sort of next to the beneficiary's name in the margin. Kind of cumbersome. Unfortunately, a lot of IRA owners were not aware of this and of the possible consequences, and therefore they didn't write in a preference. As a result, the IRA custodian's default option would apply. That's usually buried like in the fine print of the, the legalese, and the custodian's default option would apply and govern, regardless of what the account owner wanted. Thankfully, times have changed. Most beneficiary forms now have either option or both of the options listed as a box that you can check next to each beneficiary designation. And by the way, it's possible to use both types of beneficiary designations. Imagine an account owner with, let's say, 2 children, one of whom has children and the other does not. You could designate the child with children as per stirpes and the child without children as per capita. Okay? Bottom line, that IRA owners that have multiple beneficiaries should review their existing beneficiary forms to see if the beneficiaries are listed as per stirpes or per capita. And if the designation is not there, the beneficiaries are going to be subject to the default option that the IRA company, the custodian, has in place. IRA owners should regularly check their beneficiary forms, always touch and feel them, and update them if changes are needed. And this is going to make sure that the IRA owner's wishes are followed after they die. So if you'd like to know just a little bit more about this topic, about IRA beneficiaries, or even under any of these other financial assets, naming beneficiaries, if there are multiple beneficiaries, how best to set up the beneficiary form. If you want to know a little bit more about that and maybe how we can help, we'd love to talk to you. So we invite you to go ahead and schedule a free 15-minute discovery phone call. Just go to our website to schedule it, Legacy Planning Law Group. There's a gold button that says book your free call. Just pick the time and the day that works for you. We'll jump on the call. Again, that call is complimentary. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd ask that you like it. Feel free to put some comments that you might have in the comment section below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legacy Planning Law Group. So hope you've enjoyed this talk, and I'm going to give another talk next Thursday about the same time, late afternoon. I shoot for 4 o'clock, but sometimes I'm in a meeting and whatnot, and I can't quite get to it at that time, but I'll get to it eventually. Next Thursday, again, part of our Thirsty Thursday series. So if you're thirsting for knowledge, we will quench your thirst. So I'm going to sign off for now. Bill O'Leary, go make it a great day and a better world.